Until Dawn. Is it worth a buy? Let's read what it says on the box. When 8 friends returned to an isolated mountain lodge where 2 of their group disappeared exactly 1 year ago, things quickly turned sinister. Will you run from what's hunting you? Will you try to hide? Or will you stand and fight? You'll have to make split-second decisions that will mean life or death for each member of the group. Play as each of 8 friends, all of whom can live or die, based on your decisions. Well, actually, more like based on whether or not you know where the triangle, square, circle and cross are on the fucking controller. See the impact of your choices and the path you've taken with the butterfly effect system. So here we are, guys. I have a PlayStation 4 and this is my first PlayStation 4 game review. Until Dawn is a horror game. Anybody who's played a Telltale game will immediately recognise the type of game that it is. It's one of them story games that has you doing a little bit of stuff here and there. You do actually more in this than you do in a Telltale game, credit where it's due. And the graphics are simply gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They look really nice. I'm very impressed with the graphics in this game. Unfortunately, that's kind of where my impressingness ends, because what this game is in essence, I mean, let's cut through the bullshit. It's the worst horror film you've ever watched. It is like being in a bad horror film. That's the only way I can describe it. It has all the traits of a really bad horror game. You know, idiots, pricks, stereotypes, tossers, sluts, and a bad fucking plot. It has them all in abundance in this game. Did I mention jump scares? It has jump scares. How many jump scares? Hang on. I haven't got my calculator. A lot of jump scares. Too many jump scares. If they halved the jump scares in this, there'd be too many. If they took out 9/10 of the jump scares, there'd be too many. So the story goes like this, and I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, there's no spoilers, you know. I'm not going to tell you that they all die at the end, and the guy who did it's the guy who owns the house. Mac. So the plot. 2 sisters go missing. They actually fucking die. Sorry. It was because of a little Mickey take joke that went wrong and humiliated one of the sisters, and she ran out of the cabin into the woods in the night, and her sister ran after her. Blah, blah, blah. They got eaten by a pack of rabbit squirrels or something, I don't know. But they're dead. And the other guys feel guilty. They feel so guilty that they all return back exactly 1 year after that to the same secluded lodge up this mountain that's built on Indian land, and it's snowing all the time, cold all the time, and secluded all the time. The only way you can get there is through dodgy cable car. As fucking if. And then to make things worse, there's an argument over nothing between 2 of the sluts, because they are sluts, that are in there. And immediately the guy who owns the house says, right, there's been a little petty argument. What I think's the best thing to do here is if you 2 fuck off out of here and go about a mile up the road where there's a little fucking cabin in the woods. You'll be perfectly fine. There's nothing out there. So you can imagine, you've got the nerd, you've got the slut, you've got the slut, you've got the jock, you've got the slut, you've got the nerd, you've got the jock, you've got the slut, you've got the nerd, you've got the jock, you've got the slut, you've got the slut, you've got the nerd, you've got the slut, you've got the jock, you've got the nerd, you've got the slut. There's not that many people in it, but it felt like there was, because far too many people to be controlling. The story kind of goes along where you will be given a guy to control. You control them till something happens. Then it goes to control somebody else. You can save every one of them. None of them need to die. Although when I was playing, I was trying to kill the c***s because they're so fucking annoying. They really are. There was only one of them that I actually liked, and he fucking died because I couldn't remember whether the circle on the fucking controller was on the right or the left, and the c*** died. Alright. I'm not going to tell you the plot, but it involves an old man with a flamethrower, a mental home, a mine, somebody called Wendy, 8 dumb kids who are sluts and jocks, snow, a mountain, a cabin in the woods, a church, and lots of paths where you walk along and shine a torch. That's pretty much it. It then steals things from every horror film ever made. The jump scares in this are just awful. They're just all over the place. It's like, I'm just going into this cupboard to get an aerosol can. Whoa, there's a fucking badger in the cupboard. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to look out the window. Whoa, there's something at the window. Oh, hey, would anyone like a cheeseburger? I'm just going to go and cook one. Whoa, there's something jumps out of the fucking fryer. You know what I mean? I'm just going for a bath. Whoa, there's something in the fucking bath. Ah, I'd better pull the shower curtain to one side. Whoa, there's something in the fucking shower curtain. It's just fucking wank. I mean, for example, I hold the title of the most scaredest person in the world playing horror games. Outlast to me was a 100-hour game, whereas to everybody else it was 12 hours. That's what I'm trying to say. If you don't believe me, watch any of my horror games on Max Corner and you will see that I am the biggest pussy in the world. And I'm proud. I don't care. But you know something? I played through this by myself in my room and I wasn't a bit fucking scared. I didn't at once, any time playing this game, feel, oh shit, I didn't go there, I'm going to have to take a break, No, I was just like walking through in the dark by myself with a little fucking torch in mental asylums. There's a morgue pulling the things, the doors where they keep the dead bodies. I was just pulling the fuckers out. What's in here? Zombie? I don't give a fuck. What's in that one? I don't give a fuck. What's in? Let's just get on with the fucking game. You know, I felt like I was in Scooby-Doo. I was really expecting at the end to be unmasking someone and says, and if it wasn't for those meddling kids, we'd have got away with it. I wasn't impressed. There was one really good character, the Mr. Dr. Hill, I think he's called. He's it's a bit weird, the story. He's what do you call them? A quack? No, not a quack. Physiotherapist? No, that's for muscles, you dick. What's he call them? You know, them. You know, when you're a bit gone on the fucking brain. I go to see one regularly and I can't believe what they're fucking called. I could Google it. I'm going to Google it. I need to know. Who you visit when you are mental. Do you like having sex with toasters? What? Anyway, yeah, psychiatrist. He's a psychiatrist, and he is great. He's just scared. He actually did scare me. This guy is crazy because as I was going through, I'm thinking, is this actually not real? You're not real. He's like asking me shit, and each thing he asks me has an effect on how the game plays out. Like, are you scared of needles? I am scared of needles. I've had loads of blood tests this year. Shit scared every time I go in, but it never fucking hurts. But I'm shit scared of needles. So I said yes in the game, and what do you know? I get attacked by a fucker with a needle. It's like whatever you choose is going to come at you, kind of thing. So, top tip: choose the fucking fluffy bunny rabbits. So he's a nutter. And I was thinking halfway through the game, I think, hang on, you're not fucking real, are you? This is going on in my head. It's my good side and my dark side, and you're actually talking to the killer. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what happens. That's just how I perceived the game halfway through. He was a good character, but he kind of started to die off a bit as the game went on, and his visits seemed a bit more shit as the game went on. In fact, the whole last quarter of the game's a load of wank, if you ask me. It started off promising, went a bit bad in the middle, but the rest of it after the middle is just wank, to be honest with you. The story just goes so crazy, and yeah, I mean, it's £50, guys, so I'm not impressed with it. Yes, it looks good, it sounds good, and I like the whole cinematic thing about it. I mean, it looked like you're in a film all the time. There's no UI. It's all just, you know, there wasn't enough action. There was a lot of walking, and then it would kind of dump you in a place and say, right, you've got to find a way out. Nothing really happens. You're just stuck there for 20 minutes trying to find these little bright lights that you know when you see one you have to go to it because it's something you have to have a look at, which is usually your way out, you know. And it was kind of very... I felt like I was being dragged through it rather than I was actually doing anything meaningful. And like I say, you save people based on how well you can use a controller. And as I've literally just got my PlayStation yesterday and haven't a clue where the circle, square, triangle is, every fucker died in mine pretty much. So, yeah, Wasn't that there was a good monster in it, it was just, I'm shit with a controller. So there you go, guys. I don't think this has much replay value. I can't really see me wanting to go and play this again just to see if I can save every... So I'm going to give it a thumb down. Even if you like horror games and horror films, it's still a bit crap. It's average. It's just, how can I possibly thumb this up at £50? Off. So there you go, my first PlayStation 4 review. It is a big thumb down.